There it is, Patrick. It says you are live.
We be live, and
Right
we are now
over-
on screen as well.
Yeah, right across
Good
the
evening, Mr. Scott.
Good evening, Mr. Patrick. How are you in the lovely outskirts of Chicago this evening?
I'm doing well, trying to figure out what the weather wants to do here. I don't know what the rest of the country's doing, but we've gone as low as frost warnings at night, and we are supposed to possibly hit 80 later this week. So we are going all over the place.
Well, I'll join you there. We had a freeze warning last night. I think we did get in the rural areas to frozen, the low 30s, and it will be 80. It will be 75 degrees on down the shore on Thursday.
Yep. So the Halloween costumes will not be covered by winter parkas this year. We'll actually be able to see what the kids are dressed as.
I always got annoyed when it was warm on Halloween. Halloween,
it's fall. It should be chilly.
Right.
It doesn't have to be frigid. You don't have to have the heavy fur hoods or anything, but cool is nice. I want to be able to keep the windows open so it's nice enough so you don't have quite the frost coming in, but I don't like the heat. I'm not happy it's going back up to 80.
I'm not either, because I'm all into my flannel.
Yeah, I was saying, you got your brawny lumberjack look going.
I'm into my flannel and my hot cider, and I'm not liking this. Wait a minute, do I have to pull out? Yeah. So, but anyway, I guess there are other things we could complain about. We've got a roof over our heads, and my fat face is fed every day, so I'll be all right. Well, let's see. You do a better job of greeting folk than I do, but I see some folks are starting to flash in here, and we'll let them kind of jump on in.
I absolutely appreciate everyone joining us this evening. I was just chatting with Scott before we started. I'll apologize. I've done tried to stay on top of as many things as I could, but this is travel season for me, and I am in the 9th week of a 10-week series where out of a 10-week period, I've been on the road for 8. So I'm squeezing things in, but I'm home this week. So specifically made sure I was here for Scott's sale, so I'll be able to get invoices out, be able to actually hopefully ship everything, assuming people pay on a timely basis. I will kind of be watching the chat, kind of a little disclaimer. I'll be watching the chat. There have been I've had a couple of issues with a couple of buyers that are maybe for whatever reason, they couldn't get a hold of me or they didn't have my email address correct. Some things didn't get closed up. And I want to be sensitive to that because until those people get wrapped up, I don't want to be selling anything more to those individuals. So if you bought something from me, and this probably goes for Scott as well, but it is Scott's channel. But if you've bought something from me on Scott's channel or on one of my drop sales, and you feel like, hey, Patrick never gave me an invoice, I didn't get your contact information, whatever the case, let's try and wrap that up tonight. My email is right here, so you can send me emails during the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, so I appreciate everyone's support. Really apologize for those who've had some delays. I have one shipment that got paid and I was going to send it out today. I'm like, wait, he's probably going to be at the sale tonight. So I didn't ship it just in case you want to combine anything.
Well, Becky, you're lucky because I usually have it at 60 minutes. I think you're not complaining, but making a joke. But let me go ahead and say, just in case anybody doesn't understand that, we do that to keep all of the sort of naughty people out. If someone is a subscriber, then they're in. Let's take that off. But we can put a delay on, and we do that. Sometimes I forget to do it. Most of the time I do 60 minutes because I figure if somebody wants to be a poopy head in the chat, if they're willing to wait 60 minutes to do so, they're
really a dedicated troll.
They must really have something to say. So anyway, Becky, that's the reason why that's there, I'm sure that you were just I guess, but I don't know. Yes, everything is in the mail. Everything is in the mail. So I know, Becky, but some people don't. So I wanted to point. So thank you for putting that up there. Yes, I've been paid from everyone, and everything that anyone bought is in the mail. I am slow with shipping. I am the first to admit that. It usually isn't until the next week when you get your things, but it's all on its way. You are welcome. It's on its way, everything. But thank you for asking. Yes, I remember having to something. Yeah, you have to wait. You can't. Anyway, that's the reason why we do that.
And I think one of the points could be is somebody could be watching your channel all the time, but never participated in the chat. So they don't realize, oh, I'm not actually subscribed. So then you have to click that button and then, oh, wait, now I've got to wait the 20 minutes. So, you've got your fans, but sometimes it's just that little check. And unfortunately, some bad seeds make for a bad situation and you got to kind of protect everything. So little small price to pay.
Yeah, I was having a conversation where I don't know. Yes, I do know. I know where I was, and I'll talk for a minute because we're waiting for folks to get here. I was in a Goodwill, and many of you know that Goodwill nationwide has a new policy. They no longer have colors. I don't know if Patrick, if you go to Goodwill or knew that or not, but it's not just a Jersey thing. There are no colors. The only time they have specials is on Sunday. Used to be, any tag that was red was half off, right? And they would change the colors. They've done away with that. And I guess that's all over the country. It is? Is it, Patrick? Do you know?
I don't frequently shop at Goodwill, but I thought those colors were still there, but maybe I could be wrong. I think the last time I was just at Savers looking for my Halloween costume, but that was a Savers, not a Goodwill. I'm trying to think the last time I was in a Goodwill.
Well, anyway, I think it's nationwide, but the point is, it was funny because I guess where I'm going with this is anytime there's like a rule or a law or something placed in position, there's usually a reason, and it's usually because someone has done something, right? And so a corporation or a director or a CEO or me has to come up with certain rules and regs, right? Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is I was at the counter and a lady was quizzing the person at the register. Now, the poor person at the register didn't get rid of the cup, So, but the person at the register was being raked across the coals, and the lady was, well, that's a very poor choice, and I just didn't say anything. And I thought, well, lady, I'm certain that somebody at Goodwill didn't just wake up yesterday morning and say, we're not having colors anymore. There has to be a reason for it. I'm sure that it went to the board and was voted upon. There probably were studies and there are reasons for it. We don't necessarily understand. And so sometimes some of the things that we have in place in our live sales, people have, wagged their fingers at me. They don't understand because they just don't understand, right? So you get what I'm saying. Like, things are in place for a reason, and that delay is there for a reason. We tell people not to congratulate anybody until we do first. That's there for a reason. It's not just to be difficult.
Yeah, and it's sometimes even Scott and a lot of the resellers, we all chat. And Scott and I will chat, and it's funny because this audience, you've got a dedicated audience. Your audience is far larger than mine, so you will run into a kind of a scale situation because you've got more people. You will start running into problems faster than I will because I won't necessarily have as many people in a chat or have as many people working on offer ups or things like that. And it's like, oh yeah, I didn't see that coming. And so it's like, once you start seeing it, just like at a Goodwill, they're doing it, whether it's nationwide or regionally. There's a couple of people in the chat saying that they do still have colors at their Goodwill. So it may not be quite universal, but it could be a regional thing. And for some reason they feel that it's not beneficial to them. Now, I will say we're part of I don't remember the official name, but it's something like the Greater Chicagoland Area Goodwill, whatever. And I know when I travel outside of Chicago, they will have some different rules, even regionally. But the store that I shop at the most happens to be in Batavia, Illinois. Decent size, not massive, but fairly large. But they have a very huge turnover. And so one of the things that they tend to do is they will take on color day. Now, again, this has been a while since I've seen this happen, but when they did have colors, assuming if they're gone, on the last day of that color, because ours would be 50% off for the whole week of a certain color. That
Right.
last day, they'd be going through the store and pulling everything off of the shelf that was of that color. And then they're shipping it to other stores. And so then you would go to other stores and they wouldn't have anything. Like, so maybe the first couple of days, those colors got picked over. Batavia has such a high amount of inventory. even on the last days, there'd be carts and carts and carts filled with stuff that didn't sell at half price. So they're going on, and then eventually they'll go to the bins. So it's figuring out, hey, can we just price things better and we don't need to do the 50% off? That'd be a nice move, because a lot of people are complaining that Goodwill's prices have gone too high. So it's a bigger picture, and sometimes it's trial and error. Hey, let's do this. Oh, crap, that didn't work. All right, let's try something else. And
Right.
you change it back, Now you never know.
That's true. And so I try to be, I guess I'm more cognizant of that now. And I'm not so quick to judge when there's something that I don't understand. If I don't understand why somebody is doing something the way they do it, I'm not so quick to judge. I think maybe the way that I used to be, because I know what it feels like to be on that end of it, where it's like, and I didn't mean to start. This is a fun conversation, not a complaint session. We're not complaining.
No.
No, not at all.
It is what it is. And that's where I also feel like somebody was saying that the colors are nice because you can save some money. I like the concept of the colors because, as you get involved in reselling, there's some philosophies out there saying, well, you're stealing from the poor people that need to buy from Goodwill and you're trying to make money. And like there's some very negative stuff that I was surprised by. What I like about the color situation is like, fine, then I'm probably not going to buy something at full price unless it's something I really, really want. But it's a good price, maybe just not something I could resell it for. So let people buy it. And then if it doesn't sell, all right, 50% off. And then anyone can have access to it. So I just think it's kind of a nice equilibrator. I remember one time I was shopping at I think it was a Salvation Army up in Wisconsin. It was the first time I'd seen it. They admitted they artificially make the prices kind of high for 1 week. They put it on 1 week, and then after 1 week, it goes 50% off. And then after 1 month, it goes to 75% off because they just want to like crank through as much as they can. But they feel like that first week, hey, it's going to see what the market can bear. And if somebody wants to buy it, for whatever price, but hey, okay, we overpriced it. There's no market for this, 50% off. And now suddenly it's at a reasonable price. And I thought that was a good policy. Make everybody happy.
The funny thing, the colors meant nothing to me. I never looked at the colors. Sometimes I would say, but like the colors meant absolutely nothing to me. And you want to know why? Because if I go into a thrift store and that's $8, but it's not the color of the week, it's not going to be there until I wait for that color to come around.
Right.
Even if stuff is priced higher, or, people say, oh, well, that's antique store price. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if I see something I like and I say, I can buy that and I can make I can make a profit that fits into my business model, I don't care. I buy it because I know good and well it's not going to be there when I go back. Somebody else.
Quality will always win out. So yes.
So a lot of times I do pay higher for things because the good stuff doesn't hang around until it goes on sale color.
Which is why I don't tend to enjoy the bins very often. I've only been to the bins a couple of times, and every time I'm like, this is just the detritus and the dregs of every store in the area. Like that means even every reseller couldn't figure out how to buy this. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to risk life and limb digging through a box of broken glass to see what I can find. So I had my gloves and everything. But like, yeah, this isn't my speed. But other people love it. But I don't do clothes. So sometimes clothes is kind of a nice, people like that for the bins, but whatever. We are not a Goodwill store. We have nothing wrong with Goodwill. We are here to sell our own stuff.
I go to Goodwill. The funny thing about the bins is I always think that if a Miss Marple murder could be set in modern age, the villain would place a hypodermic syringe in one of the bins and the villain would come along and prick their thumb. And that's how I think. And I don't usually do clothing either, but I know a lot of people during hard economic times, and there's some good things. I'm not knocking it. I have found vineyard.
Oh no, I've bought my own clothes at Goodwill. I'm not knocking clothes at all. I'm saying the reseller.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't get into it. I've ballooned up in weight and dropped so much in weight. I can't afford to buy new wardrobe every time my weight changes. So no, it's entirely possible this shirt came from Goodwill. I'm not proud. If it's clean, sometimes they still have tags on them. Hey, I'll buy it for cheap. But I don't resell clothes because I have no idea what the market is. I have no idea what people want to buy. I don't know labels. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. So let the specialists have fun with that. We all have our little niche.
I don't know how to measure that stuff and tell whether the cuffs are worn or. I'm not good at it. Well,
I think
we
we've
have,
got it.
I don't know.
We got an audience, and I'm sure they're sick of us chatting. So
There probably are. It's hard to. We have 233 folks here tonight, and so welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and very quickly say Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, Patrick from the Trusty Huckster, outside of Chicago, outside of Philadelphia, New Jersey, me. We ship separately. We use pirate ship, and everything is an offer up tonight, right?
I have one exception.
Okay.
And it'll be the first one that I do.
Well, go for it. You're big. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
So big.
All right. So I am shipping out of Chicago. Basic premise that Scott and I can't combine anything. So we're in 2 different states. We both use PayPal, all that. Well, you don't have to have PayPal. We both use pirate ship to try and give the best prices for freight. So all those fun things. But what I'm starting out with is something that I've never done before, but I had this idea. I am in the process. The reason I haven't been to a Goodwill in a while is because I don't need new inventory. I have so much inventory and so little time to sell it. I'm going to do a little bit of a fun way of doing some inventory clearance, and you'll see some sales later that I'm grouping some things together. But for those of you who celebrate or want to participate in such a thing, I love advent calendars. So I'm creating custom advent calendars for the audience tonight. One night only. This is the only night I'm going to offer these. And right now I'm going to say I'm willing to sell 3 of them. So the first 3 people that would want one, I will sell them to you. It's not an offer up. We're just going to set a flat price. What it will be is it's an ephemera. So it follows the Unbreakable. It'll be an ephemera advent calendar. I will custom fill 24 envelopes. I did ephemera advent calendars for as gifts. I've done that in the past. I did one for Katie a couple of years ago. I did one for Soul Nate. I will fill 24 individual envelopes, probably this size. Depends how many. If I sell 3, I'm going to have to buy more envelopes, but probably around this side. And I just kind of went into my office, went into one of the boxes as an example of some things you could get: Victorian trade card, some vintage flying school certificate, knot geld, and vintage postcards. Whatever I can fit in an envelope, there'll be 1 piece of ephemera in each envelope, and the advent calendar, including shipping, is $50. So if you would like an advent calendar for $50, put your name in the chat to claim advent, so something. I didn't give it a number. And the first 3 people, if you are so interested, I will make you a custom advent calendar. So for $50, you're basically getting, for like $2 an envelope that includes the shipping, you'll be getting stuff worth way more than $50. I'm literally just going to clear out some of the stuff, because even in my booth, it's hard for me to sell things that for like $2-3 at a time. It's the processing and get them there, and then they get damaged. I will just fill these envelopes with some fun stuff. So anybody wants an advent calendar? $50. Roxanne wrote the number 95, and I don't know what that means. That's a thumbs up.
Okay.
Wait, we're not bidding. So if anyone wants that was my first item, and I will then bounce over to you. I'll watch the chat, see if anyone would like an advent calendar.
Well, what a unique idea, Patrick. And I've seen your collections, and so I'm sure whatever it is you craft, it's going to be obviously custom made, unique, one of a kind, and super fantastic. So what a great idea, Patrick. I love that. Yeah, you have a friend out there who's into antiques and ephemera, and as far as I know, you use an advent calendar every year. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. I'll do a solo layout, and I'll say the first item I have is a 1930s, 40s chrome Art Deco cream and sugar lid and underpants for $15 is where we'll start. This is an offer up. So I'm looking for someone to start us off at $15. The chrome, everything's in good condition, a few scratches here and there, but no dents and no rust. The underplate is marked on the bottom. If I remember correctly, it's Continental Chrome, not Farber Brothers. But there's the underplate and the cream pitcher, or the creamer, with a nice handle. and it's matching sugar bowl. These little paneled sides would have been called sort of colonial in design when you kind of see that. Not that anybody had this in the colonial days, but that a lot of times when you see those panels like that, it's sort of referred to that. So a little more quote unquote colonial looking than Art Deco, but no, it's not chromat. Not this one, John Robert. John, I was looking at that black rooster. I don't know. It came up. I don't know when that happened, but I was flipping through things and there that old black rooster was running around your front yard. Was that you? So this one is Continental Chrome. Nice to find a lid. Anyone starting us off at $15? Come on, don't be shy. If not, we'll put it down and we'll move on. $15 to start on a chrome era. Is this from the 40s? 1930s, 40s, yeah. It's that era, yes. And looking for an opening bid, and we don't have one. So that's
I do not see one.
What? We do?
I do not see one, no.
Okay, that's it. We're moving on. If anyone puts in a bid after I say that's it, we will come back to it at the end. So now I'm going to go back to Patrick. Maybe. Patrick, there you are with the solo layout. Oh, thanks for putting that stop in there.
You bet. Okay. So what I've got moving, I didn't see anybody taking the advent calendar. That's fine. Less work for me to do. And I just have more stuff to sell later. But now I've got traditional items for the Unbreakable sale.
Well,
so we've got.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So this is a $10 start. And what you get are 2 issues of the Ladies' Home Journal. Now, first disclosure right off the bat, the reason I'm starting the pair of these for $10 is the cover page has been torn off. This is how I found them. Somebody had taken this off. So just be aware that in both cases, this beautiful cover page has been removed. So, but these are, I need my cheaters again. These are October 1927 and June 1929. So this is the October 1927. I'll flip through it really quickly, but you've got this great deco image, woman with the cloche hat and the fur with the, I'm sorry, it looks like she's wearing a terrier because that paw is really big. But anyway, you've got and there is a sticker on the front of the address that was sent to El Paso, Texas. Some undo, we'll take that off. There's several tricks that you can use to get even old stickers. Hopefully you can get that off. As you flip through, recognize it is the 20s. So a lot of the advertisements are going to be black and white, but you do have some spot color in here. So check this out. Try this recipe on your dingiest room. So just look at the 20s. Look at that yellow sofa. Look at the green color. Look at those great rounded top Art Deco, really getting into Art Deco, Art Moderne bookcases. Just some beautiful pieces. Check out the fashion plate. Those women, you didn't need to know that this is from 1927. You've got that silhouette, those furs, those hats. You know where you're at. They don't know what's coming in 2 years. Trying to zip through. We got advertisements, great writ advertisement, great image of a bridal illustration, Yardley's lavender soap. We do have a color ad here. Ooh, a little risque, coming out of a shower. Dry West's, Dr. West's. So these are very, very thick. So just see all of the pages and that we've got coming through here. So that's just one of them. I'll flip quickly. I do see some bids, but I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. So the other one, again, fantastic cover. This is June 1929. We are coming much closer to the crash.
Yeah.
So we've got the Victor radio with Arctrola inside cover. The color ad on the inside cover is the embossed linoleum with realistic raised tiles. So you've got a great color ad on the inside. Flip through here really quick. Color on the back. We've got an evaporated milk ad. The back is a Brownie's most popular camera. Did you know that Brownies came in colors? I didn't. I've never seen a blue brownie or a pink brownie. I thought they were brown. So fascinated. And again, this is a very thick magazine, tons of reading enjoyment, some great advertisements. Check out the car ad. Parisian watch or Elgin Parisian watches.
Your high bid is 21.
What's that?
Your high bid is 21.
Excellent. So we're going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And I'm going to do a disclosure for you, Scott. For some reason, I have lost the ability of changing from live chat or from top to all messages. For some reason, it's not letting me do that on my app.
Okay.
So we may need to verify once you get bids that I've got the right one.
Okay. I have the stop in there, and I see that it is KP at $21.
Excellent. Thanks, KP. I know you will love them. You get the Two Ladies Home Journal.
Next, for $20, we're going to start at $20 on this. I guess I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. I don't know. Patrick,
I'm typing them in.
Okay. Give it just a, okay. So the next item I have for $20 is an iron. Now, it's not just any iron. You've all seen these collapsible portable irons that when hotels didn't have them in their rooms, we traveled with these. I say we, I never traveled with one in my suitcase, but that's a special one because it is a Singer sewing machine iron. Now, when I bought this, I saw the word Singer on the bottom and I thought, well, that's odd. I didn't know Singer made irons. And then somebody wrote to me and said, oh my goodness, Scott, that particular iron came with the Singer featherweight sewing machine. I'm very well acquainted with the Singer featherweight sewing machine because I could kick myself in the pants. I have to tell you something that I did. I sold my great-grandmother's featherweight sewing machine.
Oh no. There's a good market for them.
My grandmother did not. This was way, my grandmother this was way after. She wasn't going to use it anymore. My father's mother saved everything, including her mother's 1920s, 30s featherweight. They're prized by sewers, so I'm told, or people who do that type of thing. Anyway, apparently this iron was a part of that and it went in the lid. So it would collapse and go inside of that Singer featherweight. So you can, if you are a Singer featherweight person, you can put it back in your featherweight box or just plug it in and use it as it is.
That is fantastic. You do have an opening bid of $20.
Okie doke. I don't know what those featherweights are going for now, but the one that I sold that had belonged to my great-grandmother, it's okay. I would have never used it. I have some things that were hers. I have some, so it would sit here in the basement and rust. Somebody else using it and enjoying it, and I'm thrilled.
That's a good philosophy.
She'd be thrilled too to know that it was being used. Anyway, that's that. This one is in good condition, as you can see. And of course, it's completely collapsible and it is marked Singer and the model number and all that jazz. If there are no questions, and you can see the plug and all of that stuff. These are nice little irons. I love these.
It's in great condition too.
In very good condition. And of course, you know, these are built like tanks. These things never get well,
Mary Ann just commented that quilters want featherweights. And for those who don't know, I used to own a quilt store for 10 years. And yes, featherweights were very much in demand back then. And there were a couple people that actually brought them to class. And I've never seen the iron that goes with it. That is fantastic.
Well, there it is. Counting it down, our high bid might just be the opening bid of 20.
I think it's so far. I just see the opening bid. Oh, we went up to 21.
After I count down, give it a second before you give it another couple of seconds before you put the stop in, but I will count it down now. 10. Please, Patrick. 10.
Yeah, I'm watching on
The other screen.
Yeah.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm watching the delay. You're doing the countdown. And we just got the stop. And we had some last minute activity going in there.
I'll go ahead and hit the refresh. Remember, everyone, please let Patrick and me call the winner before you congratulate.
Yeah, a bunch came in right at the last minute. Because I can't see all chat, I'm going to need you to clarify.
I'll actually, you know what? I'll do it, Patrick. I can do it from now on. It's cool. I had no problem. Mama T-Bird has a high bid of 41. And let me just back up. Back in the day finds, all of those other bids came in after the stop. So it looks from my screen that I see Mama T-Bird. Can you verify that, Patrick?
I see her with mine. I see her right after this stop, but
you can, okay.
But I can't refresh it as easily. So
okay. I'm refreshing. I'm quite refreshing, or am I not?
Absolutely. You're making my night.
And let's hold. It's.
I just closed it. I'm opening it back up so I can do it.
Yeah.
Look at it again.
It's Mama T-Bird at 41.
Yep. I refreshed and she is above the stop. I do see that.
And Patrick, I'll put my stops in.
Okay.
I can do them for me and for you if you'd like.
I would love that.
Okay. Because
I was seeing a lot of lag too, and I always get self-conscious. Like, wait, is it me? Is it everybody? So yeah, there's always a lag.
It seems like there's quite a lag, and there were a whole trail of. I mean, it got bid all the way up to $60.
Absolutely.
After the stop, so we'll give it a couple other seconds in there. But now, look, you guys, if you're waiting until the last minute, that's what happens. You know, we can't.
Yep, that's the way this works.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Was it Mama T-Bird? I didn't even write it down. I think it was. It is.
Excellent. All right. And now I'm moving to textiles, and I've got a $30 start. So I have had several tabletoppers, tablecloths. Thanksgiving is coming. Christmas is coming. This is probably one of the most beautiful ones that I have ever sold in these live sales. So let's see if I can back up a little bit and hold this up. It is 58 by 92. It is a cream color with a gray crochet cutwork built into it. So you've got embroidery and crochet, and you've got the crochet in the middle. So I'm showing you two layers. Let me fix this. So you've got a huge solid in the middle of the rectangle. Then you've got a huge crochet border, and then you have another set of fabric with embroidery, and then another crocheted border with scallop trim. So this is 58 by 92, and I'm going to include the 10 napkins. So the matching napkins all have that same crochet corner built into it. These are all machine done. This is not done by hand. But full disclosure on the napkins, and I put this one on here so you can see it. There is some storage staining for these that I did not try and get out. So it might be very easy to wash this out, but it might not. So basically, I'm throwing these in for free because the tablecloth is worth by itself way more than $30. So we're starting, this is just 30, and the tablecloth does not have that staining on it. But I love this one. I've had cut work before. Just check out the corner of this. Picture this. If you've got a rectangular table, and this is the downside of selling tablecloths that I'm fully available. It's a gray color. So the fabric is kind of like a beige, creamy linen. And the thread, the crochet yarn is actually gray. So it's an interesting combination. And if you've got the right size table, you've got that draping off the corner. How fantastic is that? The size is, that piece of paper fell down. It is 58 by 92. And so you've got the crochet down the middle, and then you also have the embroidery with the cut work. So you can see the cut work in the middle of the embroidery where the fabric has been cut away and it's all stitched all the way around it. So I've had tablecloths that have had cut work. I've had tablecloths that have been embroidered. I've had tablecloths that have been crocheted with a scalloped edge, not running through the middle. Like basically, if you were to cut all that crochet work, this tablecloth would fall apart into pieces because it is, that crochet is whole. Yeah. I know the round would make it far more attractive, and let's be honest, I'd be selling it for way more than $30. So this does limit the audience of what you could use this for. Fact of the matter is, I've considered throwing this on my bed. Like this would make a fantastic. I want to. Now I forgot that. Not a coverlet. I want to say, what's the term, Scott? Not window pane, counter pane. Make a lovely counter pane, but I do not need any more textiles in my life.
Gotcha.
So I've held on to this for a long time, and I'm now selling it here because the holidays are coming. And if you've got the right size table, this is going to look fantastic. And as with some of the things I'll be selling later, if you're a reseller and you've got more patience than I do, you can make a lot of money on this because these sell for way more than $30. But I appreciate Adam starting us off at $30. I know he would give it a good home, whether he uses it for himself or passes it on. But yeah, so we're starting out 30. I think that was the only bid. So I will go ahead and count down. Yeah, Phillips picked up some of those textiles too, but he's holding back this time. But we'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
I will account for the lag, and I'll put the stop in for you, Patrick.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So I apologize, Cheryl. I'll answer the question. Just keep in mind a king size bed is 80 by 76, and this is 58 by 92. So it would be the length of a regular of a bed, but the width of about a queen. 58 is about 5 feet across, which is what a queen is. Doesn't matter now, but answer your question.
Your Adam had your winning bid.
All right. Thank you, Adam, for $30. It is yours. And I apologize, Adam. I can't remember if you have purchased from me before. I think you have, but just in case, just make sure you send me an email before the show ends tonight so I make sure I've got your address.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and stick to tablecloths. This one is round, and it has.
And are you going to put your start in, or do you need me to do that?
I'll put the stop in.
Okay.
If you can put start at 20.
I can start.
Start at 20.
$20 start.
It's a round tablecloth, and it has crochet work in it and embroidery work on it, and it's lovely. And I will open it up and show it to you. And it has a diameter of 64 inches across
Nice.
the middle of it. So let me stand up and not throw this chair into the china closet, which every time poor Vinny comes over, he's deathly afraid he's going to do that. And we have to turn and we sit on the other side of the table because I don't want him to be nervous. And I don't blame him for being nervous. I'm used to it because it's my house. But okay, no holes. No. Let me show you some of the detail of it first, and then because it's hard for me to get you to see the whole thing. There's that crochet work. Yeah. Which is probably machine done. The embroidery might be hand done. I see some little knots on the back, but I'm not an expert on that. So if that is something that's terribly important to you, I guess you'll have to take a chance. But it's clean without any holes. It's some type of a linen. It's sort of a ivory color, not stark white, but it's not stained. It has a big circle in the middle of it. Now, I'm not looking at
you had an opening bid of $20.
screen, Patrick. So if any questions come up, I'll be listening to you.
Yep.
I'll put it up there. Like, I don't know how well that did.
No, that shows it off very nicely. Great colors.
64. What did I tell you? Wait a minute. 64 inches diameter. And no stains, no holes, nothing coming apart. It doesn't smell. Just iron it.
Becky bumped you up to $25.
And put it on your table. So I'll let you, I'll try to move my way up and as we go up.
And you said it is 64-inch round, correct?
Yes.
Roxanne pushes you up to 40.
Isn't that nice?
Beautiful.
I'll try to do a close-up of this open lace crochet type of work here, I suppose it is, which looks probably done by machine. I don't know about this. This is applied fabric here. See the yellow, the pinks?
Applique.
There's all that sort of a cross-stitch stuff there, but if I turn it around, my camera doesn't really, this is the back side of it, so everybody has a different opinion, and I know you're looking at probably a fuzzy screen, so kind of hard to tell. Let me fold this up a little bit, and if there aren't any questions, I'll count it down, and we'll turn it back to Patrick. Bear with me for just a second, everybody, because I don't want to just throw it down on the floor like that. I want to put
Becky
it
bounced you up to 45.
Back into the shape of a cone, I guess, is the best way to fold it, or the way I'm folding it. Okay.
Actually, here's our little public service announcement for the textile collectors.
Roll
Best
them.
way to store fabrics is do not fold them in half.
Now roll them.
Fold them in thirds or roll them. And
Yep.
the only reason is because everyone folds in half, and that's where the creases end up, and those are irreversible.
Yep,
So
that's very true. Okay. Where am I? Oh, there I am. I didn't see me on the screen because of the delay. 10. The high bid right now is 45. 10.
Yep.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I will wait a second and I will throw that stop in there. Let me find it on my page. Tablecloth. Round. Ooh. Okay, round tablecloth. Stop. Refresh it. I'm waiting for my screen to come up. And it says Roxanne Suede at 55, I believe.
That is who I see as well.
So Roxanne, I don't remember you. So if you're old, I've got your information. If you're new, will you send your information to me, please? SAWADE. Suede. All right. And I'll just go ahead and say, even if Roxanne already knows this, in case anyone else doesn't, if you're new, don't forget. It seems like so all of the stuff that we need, your whole mailing address, and please, 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 please don't forget to tell us if you have a PayPal account or not. If you don't tell me that, I'm going to assume that you have one. But if you don't have one, you'll never get my invoice because it won't go anywhere. You follow me? And then we're stuck in Never Never Land. So when you write to us, if you're new, make sure you don't forget to tell us whether or not you have a PayPal account, and then give us that email address, because it's not always the same as the email address from which you are writing. Congratulations, Roxanne.
I knew you were holding back on that.
Could not help it.
We are of a certain age. We have to say that. And I'm sure she's never heard it before.
I've got you. Okay, Roxanne, if I've got you, then girl, I got you. So if your address hasn't changed, then that means I have you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who placed bids. Patrick, it's your turn.
Okay. My next is a mixed lot. Again, this is kind of your reseller, or if you just really like Christmas, I've got a Christmas ephemera lot, and this is a start of $20. All right. So this is a case where I could put this all in my booth and probably sell this for far more individually, but I don't have the time. So you can see this is a stack of Christmas themed ephemera. So we've got a Christmas 1921 issue of the Etude magazine. So if you're into music, you actually will have Christmas music that you can have from that. But I would say this is all about the cover. This would look fantastic framed. And who else is going to have a Christmas 1921 piece of ephemera in their Christmas decor? So that is included. We have a treasury of Christmas stories, probably from the 70s or 80s. You can see the thickness of this, just simple paperback, that is available. It doesn't have a barcode on it, so it might be a little bit older. Actually, I should have looked to see if it had a copyright on it. 63. So October 1963. So Treasury of Christmas Stories, that is included. You get Children's Playmate magazine from January 1945. So technically it may not be Christmassy, but look at that winter design. Again, fantastic framed, or put this up in a vignette, lay it on your table during Christmas, let people flip through it. And you've got children's stories, artwork, poems, everything from a winter theme. So you get the 1945 issue of Children's Playmate magazine. You also get the Fred Waring Music Workshop presents A Christmas Singing Bee, and it is a book of Christmas songs. That is included. You get the Santa Claus book, which is a big golden book, not a little golden book. So for those who are familiar with golden books, this is published by Simon & Schuster, who ended up buying little golden books. This is copyrighted 1952. Little bit of condition issue. The spine has been taped back on, and the first couple of pages are loose. What that just means is this great artwork is ready to be framed. And it is filled with stories, the 39 Letters, Cookie Tree, Penny Walk by Anne Malloy, Christmas Town, The First Christmas Eve. Each one of them has some great illustrations to go with them. So fantastic if you've got your grandkids or kids and you're reading storybooks for Christmas. You've got some great stories. And it all comes down to this. This 1952 was the Santa Claus book. This is what this lot is all about. This should sell for $20 by itself. This is the December issue of Life magazine. Of course, it doesn't say on the front what year it is. Now I forgot what year it was, but I think we're in the 30s.
Kind of looks.
This is 1932. So you've got Life magazine with this, to be perfectly honest, rather creepy rendition of Santa, with either a really slutty Mrs. Claus or he has a secretary, which Mrs. Claus should be really worried about. On the back, you've got, we're dealing with mid-century modern. And it's 1932. We're dealing with way before that. You're dealing with some color artwork. I'm stuck on the 52. Got a great Barbasol ad. That's actually a comic strip. I didn't know they did that. You've got So travel advertising, look at an advertisement for the Waldorf Astoria Hotel with 1932 prices. You've got some old Life magazine cartoons, advertisement for jewelry craftsman, Spud cigarettes. Bonnie, I will be sending out invoices probably within the next couple of days, hopefully by Wednesday night. Some great illustrations. Again, all 1932. So we are past the Depression right now, but hey, we can still spend $1 to get a gift that warms a man's heart. Electric bridge table that shuffles in deals. And the inside color ad, Heinz mince meat. But again, it's all about the cover. It's all about the Christmas issue. So you get all of these magazines for one price. And it looks like Adam was already at 22. Bonnie also came in, though, at 22 after him. So just be aware of that, Bonnie. You get all of these, and I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown. 10, 9, I love this one personally. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done.
Okay, I'll put the stop in there for you as soon as I account for this little bit of a lag.
All right.
Kells, your wonderful Victorian frame is on its way to California, and it looks like it is Kells who has one at $25 for you, Patrick.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Kels. I don't recognize your name. I apologize. So if you could just verify, make sure you send me an email. But if Scott's got your information, I could steal it from him, but I'd rather get it from you. But thank you for your purchase. And thank you for Bonnie and Adam bidding on that, getting things started.
I do. Okay. Alrighty then. The next item that I have, we're going to look for an opening bid of $30. This is one of the nicest antique pen holders I've ever gotten my hands on.
Oh, wow.
It's so nice. Now, it's unmarked, but I suspect it would have had a foil sticker underneath on this felt base, because marking it anywhere else would detract from it. If Schaefer or, oh, what are some of the other? Schaefer, Waterman,
Parker, Waterman.
Yeah, Waterman, all of those. Gee whiz, Patrick, that is a nice one. It's heavy. It is weighted. So there's iron under there, and it's covered in chrome.
That is gorgeous.
It's got a chrome casing on it, black enamel, and this wonderful late 20s, early 30s kind of deco pattern here. And then I never really knew what they made this sort of tortoise shell. You know, there were all types of synthetics, and they're not all Bakelite. So everybody always says Bakelite, Bakelite.
A lot of the pens were made from celluloid.
Celluloid, and there was Catlin and oh drat, some other weird. Oh, why can't I?
Kells has you up at 30.
The comb set, the mirrors, and the brush sets, they were made out of I want to say it starts with a P, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is a beaut, and good grief. If you've got a pen collector, or just, you know, someone who appreciates fine things, and maybe they've got everything, but they like style, there you go. Now, of course, the kind of pen that's going to go in there, I'm not selling this, but that's the idea. Now, this one doesn't actually fit. This is too large. But that's, and I'm sure that everybody already knew that. But this is so nice. I've been holding on to this for a long time, and I simply am only using it for decoration. I don't do calligraphy or use
Mark is taking you to 35.
Mark, your crystal ball is on its way to you too. Didn't you win the beautiful crystal snowball? I think you did, one of them. And it's on its way to you as well. But there it is. I don't know, but there's no damage on this. When you receive this, you will say, wow, that's a nice one. You won't be disappointed in its quality, and I'll go ahead and I'll count it down. Yeah, I'm thinking of another word, though, and it's not coming to my head right now, but there was all these different names for things that the DuPont company invented in the 20s and 30s. So I'll count this wonderful pen holder down. This, of course, is adjustable, as you know. 10, 20, 10,
Yeah.
20, 30. I'm not sure.
We're gone into auction mode.
Yeah. 10, 9, 8, no, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And now I'll watch myself on my other screen, and I will account for that lag. It's not Bakelite that I'm thinking of. It's there's another. It's driving me nuts. Oh, well. Let me get the stop in there. Let me go up here and hit refresh. And the pen holder. No, it wasn't that either, KP. I don't know why. It's not what I'm thinking of. Kel's got it at 40. Kel's, yeah.
I see it right before the stop as well.
You see Kel's?
Yeah.
Okay. Kel's, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who placed your bids. I'm not thinking of celluloid either, but it doesn't matter. I'll come up with it at some point. Let's go back to the old huckster or Patrick. And we'll see what Patrick has next. And all right. Thank you, Kel's.
My next item is a $15 start. And what it is, somebody had in the chat, they're talking about somebody just got engaged. My big news, my daughter is getting married this weekend. So I am about to be father of the bride. So figured this was a good time to be able to sell this off. So what I'm starting with is a old fashioned style photo album. So the big black construction paper pages. I do believe this is a contemporary reproduction of it. I think it might be some age, but like more like 2000s or 1990s as opposed to teens or 20s. But you get that look. That's the container. But what this lot is actually offering you are wedding themed snapshots. So some of these are snapshots. Some of these are studio images. So check out, and I would say all of these images, some of them are from the same wedding party, but some of them are unrelated. I did pick these up from a garage sale. I asked them specifically if they had any information on the names. They said they literally found them all in a bag. They couldn't even commit whether they were their own family members. They did not know where they came from. So this one is a fantastic image of the bride. Check out that cloche, that hat that she's got. There's a lot of fabric in this dress. So this is probably still in the 20s, like maybe before the Depression, because by the Depression, you really would not have been able to put that much fabric into a dress. But you've got the full wedding party on that one. And then you've got some individual shots. Like this is not the same bride, but you've got another bridal shot in a simpler dress with the not so happy couple with the groom standing over. Another snapshot. I'm loving even the photo of the style of the bouquet with those little trailing roses on that. White tie, but with a black vest. She's got her hair up with kind of a bandeau, headband. Got the crown of flowers in her hair, like 12 millimeter pearls. What the heck? I mean, those are massive pearls if they're real. The detail on the neckline of that dress, her flowers. Got a seated image of I think that looks relatively young, so I'm thinking that is the flower girl, but with the headpiece, I don't know if that's actually the bride, but that girl looks little. So I'm not sure about this one. I think those shoes make her little. So I think she's the flower girl, but I've never seen the flower girl have like a full-fledged veil on that. We've got an outdoor snapshot. Again, the hanging, I guess that was kind of a thing. Those hanging flowers tied to ribbons. She has a shorter dress, so we might be pushing into the 30s on this one. He has the white tie and the white boot. Could be communion. I did get all these together, so I was assuming these were all wedding, but you're right. Maybe that's how they dress for first communion. So there's another one based on the shoes. I would say there's another little girl as opposed to, and she does have a rosary. So you're right. This one might be a first communion picture instead, but I'll still include them because they came with all these wedding pictures. Some of them have been glued in an album. So just be aware, some of the backing does have the leftover, from an old version of the black construction paper. Check out the headdress on that one. I mean, that makes her look Russian. And that's like that Kukulnik headdress. But this is definitely a studio shot, with a fake window in the background, hanging ribbons again, shorter dress. So again, we're probably pushing into the 30s now. This is that same bride with, I'm assuming, the groom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a wedding party. Again, that headdress of the bride I've not seen anyplace else. So I think this one is standalone. And then that's probably is the flower girl. She's even wearing like a little crown type thing. And then this is probably my favorite. This is the same photo, but it's been colorized. And so I'm assuming done by the studio. It's the same photo, but somebody took her dress, gave her a little bit of a blush color to the dress, and then made all the flowers pink. And then did all the flowers in yellow on this one. So I don't know if that was a thing. I'm assuming it was done at the time. Like, I don't think this was something that was done later. I find that fascinating. And I think that in one of those little dual photo frames, just to show that off, I just think that's super cool. I don't know if she was in, she kind of looks like the woman in this one. The woman here on the end. Oops. I think it's this woman right here. Her hat seems to match. So some of these are related. So I did try, I'm just keeping them all together. I don't know if these people are related or not, and if they're communion or whatever, but they're fantastic photos, make a great vignette. If you're decorating, even if you're decorating for somebody's wedding, you could put all these old fashioned photos, doing your own vignette, whatever the case. I do think I did have a bid. So I'll go ahead and start counting it down. I'm going to get the album with all those photos. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Okay. Let's see. There was a bid back there of 15. That was Judy Coggins. There's the stop. And
all right.
It might be Judy. It might be Judy Coggins.
Judy. All right. I apologize, Judy. I don't recognize your name. That doesn't mean much because I can't remember anything anymore. So if you could send me an email before the end of the show, so I have your contact information, I would appreciate that.
Okey-doke.
And enjoy. I hope you give them a good home.
Anyway, I'm back for just a second. Allow me to, we plowed right through the intermission, so I'm going to take the liberty of saying I went and I grabbed because I could not think of what I was trying to think of. So I went and got my Eisenstein and Gordon Wholesale Jewelers of Philadelphia, the quality book for 1933. I love this because young folk today who have no idea, when you say jewelry store, they think, you go to the mall and you get a necklace. The stuff you bought in jewelry stores in the night. Now, I'm not selling this, and I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time, but I was thinking of these dresser sets, that were made by DuPont, and some of the different materials. I don't know why I couldn't remember lucite. There's also a resin type material called Pyralin, Pyralin, P-Y-R-A-L-I-N. It sounds like it would burn up like celluloid did. There's some other type of material here that they called Arlton, A-R-L-T-O-N, but these different sets were made anyway. They came up with all these weird plastics and had all these funny little names. All right, enough of that. I love that book. That book is a whole show in and of itself. I've got a little oak box for $12. And Patrick,
that's your start?
Pardon?
The start is $12?
Yes, and Patrick, who likes to hang around libraries, will recognize any old oak box. Let's talk about old oak boxes for a minute. Solo layout. $12. That is a little oak box. Now, what was it used for? Anything you want to use it for. Recipes, library, school, office, home. It's oak. It's got its little brass thing here where you put the I don't know what you call that, but you put the little card in and you write on there whatever it is you want to write. I love little oak boxes, and this one is the first one I've ever had where the lid simply lifts off. It is not hinged. It was never hinged. See? No hinge. How about that, Patrick?
That's fantastic. I love that.
I love it.
The detailed edges, not dovetail. I can't remember what that one's called, but that's got a great look.
Yep. It's all machine done. And when you're talking about a little oak box like this, it doesn't have to be for recipes. Oak was everywhere, from post offices to libraries to elementary schools, and they were used for all sorts of things. And oak, you know what? When oak fell out of fashion in furniture, it was still popular in office decor and school decor because it's good, hardy, solid wood.
No.
And even when people were decorating in it, when golden oak, nobody wanted golden oak really in the 1920s and 30s. Everybody was moving into mahogany, exotic veneers, and walnut. That heavy, massive oak furniture was your grandmother's furniture. But it hung around school desks, school chairs, filing cabinets, that kind of thing. Sometime even in the 30s, there would be oak kitchen sets and some oak, like pub table kinds of things made out of oak. That's just a cute little oak box. Do with it whatever you want to do. And notice you'll see the rays of the oak grain, which you can really see here, the way it's cut, quarter sawn, cut in certain pieces. So I love this.
And it must have a pretty tight fit because the inside of that has not aged, it hasn't darkened that much. It's still pretty light inside.
Air hits the outside, air doesn't hit the inside. It's much lighter on the inside. Yeah, that's what that wood looked like untreated when it was cut new. Yeah, and you see the golden oak on the outside, but the
It's
still
a well-made box.
Very, very nice little oak box. So you can put your piece of oak tag in there, little paper, whatever in there, and call it whatever you want to call it.
Wasn't it called oak tag or was it oat tag? Was it oak or oat? What's that tag paper called?
We always
you said it. Now I can't think of what it's called.
It was always called oak tag.
It's either oak tag or oat tag, but yeah.
Oh, not oat like oatmeal.
Oak tag. Yeah.
Oak like the wood oak. I'll count it down. I guess we have a bid.
Yes, you do.
$12 of back in the day.
Yes.
I had to run downstairs and find that book. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the little oak box. On the little oak box. Which little 3x5 index cards would fit in there? Okay. There's the stop, I think. And it might be, ooh, what did I do? Louis Armstrong sang, "What Did I Do to Be So Black and Blue?" Which was a commentary on race relations in those days, but also a play on words. Why did I say that? Because is Sandy Loftus at 14? It looks like
I just refreshed, and yes, unfortunately, back in the day, fines came in after the stop.
Okay. Thank you, Sandy, and everyone who placed your bids on that. And so now it's back to the solo layout of Patrick. Well, there it is.
Okay. So I see your box, and I raise you a box lot.
All right.
So I've got a traditional lane, the little, everyone recognizes these. Everyone of a certain age received these as their graduation gifts from local furniture stores. But this one has been personalized with Disney stickers. And this is a $15 start because you get, this is the Disney lots where all my Disney lovers, you get these little miniature license plate stickers that got attached to this box to make it a little bit more personal. And you see all the different characters. I don't know who Gorger is. I don't recognize that one. So I'm not sure how the age of some of these stickers. I'm not sure if I can read if there's a copyright on there, but this is a Disney mixed lot. So you get the box. You also get 2 issues of one of the best cartoons ever made, DuckTales. I only know this because of my daughter. I used to watch DuckTales with her all the time. And yes, I do admit that. DuckTales is fantastic. So you get 2 issues of DuckTales comic books and Pluto. This is going to be obnoxious to ship, but it's going to be easy to ship because wholly unbreakable. It is on a thin piece of MDF or something on the back, so it's very rigid. I did some digging into this, and evidently this was a kit. So once upon a time, you could actually buy these pieces, and then you glue these all together. So whoever did this did a very nice job. It's very cleanly done, and it is a felt board image of Pluto. Now, the felt is not thick enough. You would not be able to turn this into a cork board. There's not enough to be able to stick pins into this, and this is too thick. You wouldn't be able to. It's really just decorative. Comes a little tag, a little hook on the top to be able to tag it. And so this is the lot. You get the big Pluto hanging piece, both issues of DuckTales, and the Disney accented Lane cedar chest box for a starting bid of $15. But I don't see any Disney lovers in the house, or at least none that I want to pick this up. So I will go ahead and say stop and pass it back over to Scott.
Okay, I put the
Keep
stop
things
in
going quickly.
Yep. And once again, if any bids come in after the stop, we will revisit it when we come back at the very end of the show. So I've got for you now an antique mahogany barley twist lamp. That's the real thing. It is mahogany. It is antique. It is in fantastic condition. It's got wonderful old double sockets and old pull chains at the top. I didn't rewire it. Oh, $29 is where we start. It's about 2 feet tall. I rewired this a long time ago and used it for quite some time. And when I wired it, it was to sit on a table and the cord wouldn't be seen. So I didn't bother with an expensive cloth silk reproduction cord, which would have cost about an extra $20. There's nothing wrong with this cord. I love old sockets. There they are. Supply your own finial. These work fine. You can hold still on the chain. There are the old pull chains. And I'll tell you once again that it is a barley twist lamp. Let me back all the way up. It's made of mahogany. It doesn't look like it ever had any felt on the bottom of it. There's the untreated mahogany on the bottom. There's the mahogany base. Whether or not you put any scratch cover on it is up to you. It doesn't really need it. But that is its original finish. Whether you can see that. And we'll go from the base and we'll work our way all the way up. About 2 feet, all the way up to the top. And can't you just see one of those wonderful silk shades of the 1920s with all the fringe hanging on it? You know you can. A beautiful table lamp that is 100 years old if it's a day. And I know it's a day, so I know it's 100 years old. It's going to go back sometime into at least the 20s. We'll say 1920 to 1930, something like that. A little older. By the time you get into the 30s, it's kind of out of style. And I have an opening bid. Sandy Loftus has an opening bid of 29. A minute ago, Sandy, I saw you say you just found me. I'm not sure. I thought I knew you. I thought I know your name. Are you brand new? You've never bought from me before, from a live sale before? Gee whiz. I thought that you had. So you might have been talking to somebody else. But if you are new, remember, Sandy, to send me all that information. And if you'll do it tonight, I would love it, because I might not be able to fall asleep right away tonight. And since I'll only have about 10 invoices to do, I might do them tonight. You say Van Sciver. I think you mean Van Sciver. This is not marked. So Van Sciver was a high-end furniture manufacturer from right here in Camden, New Jersey. They made good stuff. There's no mark on this, so there's no indication that Van Sciver made it, but could have been, because they were a very high-quality furniture company, and they shipped furniture all over the nation. But they're well known here. There's still Van Scivers around. You know, you see the name Van Sciver around the southern New Jersey area. Enough of that.
I have a question. Question comes in: is it wider at the bottom and does it taper at the top, or is it a uniform barley twist all the way up?
It's wider at the bottom and it tapers at the top.
Okay.
So the thickness at the bottom of the twist is about 2 inches. And when we get to the top, it shrinks down to just below 1.5 inches. So very gradually, it does skinny itself on the way up. Is that the best way to put it?
Nice effect.
So. About 1.5 around here and about 2 inches down here. You're welcome. Is the twist getting larger from the top to the bottom?
That was the question I just asked you.
Oh, okay. It gets larger as it goes up. So the high bid is 29, and this 100-year-old mahogany lamp is now being counted down. Let me get the stop in there. S-T-O-P. You know me. 10.
You're just entertaining yourself right now. Like,
I guess.
Okay. Glad you're having fun.
Simple minds enjoy simple things. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Put this down on the floor. I used to use it in the loft. I don't have room for it here. I don't need another lamp. I need another lamp like I need another chair. Oy. And I don't need another chair. All right, get the stop in. Oh, wait a minute. Get the stop in there. There it is. Now hit refresh. Barley twist lamp. I will put it in a nice big 12 by 12 by 12 by 24 box, and it will go to. I don't see anything coming in after it, so it looks like Sandy Loftus at 39.
That is what I see as well. She came in before the stop.
Okay, well then, Sandy. Now, Sandy, do I have your information or not? Are you new or old?
She did confirm that you do know her.
Oh, well, why are you telling me you just found me? Maybe you just tuned in. That must be what you meant. Okay, we're good. I knew you, Sandy. The floor belongs to you. Oh, for pity's sake. There you are.
All right. Going back to an ephemera lot. This time I'm doing some military ephemera, and this is a start of $15.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got two. I separated these from the wedding lot from before. These did not come with that other set of wedding photos. So these are not related to the wedding photos that I already shown. These just happen to be two military photos in those big studio folders. So you've got great image of gentleman and his bride. So I'm going to assume this is probably pushing us into the 40s. But I am not that familiar with the silhouettes. Like, she doesn't have the Joan Crawford shoulder pads, but I don't think that happened in wedding dresses. But based on his uniform, we're at least somewhere in that era. And it does list the name of the studio. And based on where I am at, I'm going to assume this is Aurora, Illinois. So, but there is no name on the back of the photo. So you get that photo. You then get this photo, another military with his bride. This one is also from, but a different studio. This is also from Aurora. This one actually says Illinois. Also in one of the big studio folders. Then you get a U.S. Army Japan Camp Zama post facilities R&R facilities. This has no date on it, but it does have a 5-digit zip code. So this is from after 1963. Based on it's all like typeset, like a typewriter. We're probably talking about 80s, maybe 90s. There is a list of phone numbers in the back, and they're the 4-digit extension, but this is internationally. And it's all about what to see, where to go, how to do shopping in Japan. So you've got a military guide to Japan for R&R facilities. Got a studio photo of another military. Now, I do not recognize the emblems, so I do not know what that patch on his hat is.
No, I don't know.
And so two stripes, single is corporal, is 2 sergeant.
I don't know.
I don't remember, and I don't know what the T stands for. And then he's also got kind of like a 3. I don't know what that image is either. So those kind of look like bombs. So maybe he's a bomber, but it seems almost too simplistic to be like, hey, yeah, I'm a bomber. So anyway, I do not know. It does have the stamp on the back of the studio, but no identifying information of the soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get this great full page advertisement. Eventually, why not now? Enlist in the Navy. So you've got, this is probably World War I era.
Mm-hmm.
And on the back page of this, there's a magazine ad. You've got a great advertisement for Barrett's Everlasting multi shingles for your home. So you got a great advertisement, but it's all about the military image on the front.
Mm-hmm.
I had picked that up to sell individually, and I just decided to mix it into a lot to try and sell these fast. And then I've also got some things that came out of scrapbooks. So you've got a photograph of some military formation in Athens, and then another photograph of Idaho, 1933. So CO, CCC, Pacific Gap. So you got military look like sailors based on the white in the front. And then a whole stack of scrapbook pages that were done collecting images of military activity, airplanes, parades. I'm not sure where all these images came from. They're all very large. So they might have been magazine images. You got this great shot of your boy would not be lonesome on a battleship. Here are part of the USS Pennsylvania's happy family of 70 officers and 1,100 men, all on the battleship. Photographs, images of parades. Free Sons of America to become her defenders.
You have an opening bid.
Excellent. And so there's just a whole stack of these. They are still attached to the scrapbook pages. This is how I received them. You can get a puppy. Oh, he is looking at a ship. So maybe there's some everything. All of the pictures do appear to have some sort of military theme to them, but not necessarily just World War II or World War I. Some of them are referencing even older. And you get an eagle. So kind of a mix. I'll go ahead and start counting it down. So you get this entire lot. Ooh, that was pretty. So 10, 9, 8, 7. So actually, I'm going to show that one because it says the thing at the bottom. Will the sword be sheathed in 1918? So she was representing the end of World War I. That's just a cool image. I've not seen that before. Came from a magazine. There's not, but Philip Boyu. I like that image, and I like the phrase about that as well. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right. So I think it's back in the day finds. They had you've purchased some military history stuff from me before, so I'm glad that this will go.
No, hold on, Patrick.
We got some activity.
Yeah. Well, no, it is. They came in right after Kells at 21.
Okay. Yep,
So
I do. I see that before the stop.
Okay.
Excellent.
Correct. Yep, you got it.
Thank you. Hi, Christy.
Okay. $25 and it's yours, new in the box, never been opened. $25. Well, what is it? Well, just to make sure you can see that it's new in the box, those big staples, those big brass staples on the top, when they used to staple boxes shut like that, what on earth could it be? It's a corn popper.
Awesome.
Look at those. Look at that typical little Caucasian cream cheese looking family from 1971. Right? The way all packaging was in those days. Popping their little popcorn. And look, it's so much fun. It's never even been opened up. Now, anybody my age or older had one of these. We all remember it. I remember putting the butter in the top and sitting there and watching it.
Absolutely.
See if that butter would melt and then drip down into the orange lid. Oh, wonderful.
Self-buttering.
How much do you think it was when it was new in 19... You look at those little heads, right? They're screaming probably early 70s. So there it is. And this was, in case anybody wants to know, this was made in Newark, New Jersey, of course. So it is that is the corn popper. And it's in there. How many of these are you going to find brand new in the box? The question is, do we have anybody here from the 70s?
I have a feeling of a lot of people who remember the 70s.
Well, remember it, but might not want to go back and relive it again.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to relive it. I try and forget it as much as I can. I love the gigantic thing of salt, though. Like, yeah, welcome to the 70s where we don't care about health.
I can just see us all on the floor in our tube socks waiting for Dukes of Hazzard to come on. Not me. I would be in Argyle's and I would be listening to something like the Berlioz Requiem, annoying the rest of the family, not wanting to get grease all over my fingers. So I was probably eating French burnt peanuts, but I was an odd child. Anyway, nobody wants it. Patrick, will you I'm going to do it myself. We have no bids. Stop. We'll come back later. We'll see if anybody wants it. Okay, we're going to fly now because we did a lot of talking, probably my fault.
No, we're both. I'm a talker. So yeah, we're going to crank through the last couple of things.
I'm a talker too, and I think people tune in and they know we're going to.
Yeah, who wants to just watch us just sell stuff? We got to learn history.
We'll bring this back at the end in case we have anybody from the 1970s, and then I can get this burnt orange thing out of my house. So we'll now go back to Patrick. It's your turn. Okay. So
we got to start at $15.
Okay.
And we are going to. I cannot claim that that this has never been opened. I know for a fact it has been opened, but at least I've got the original box. So I take your original box and I add original box. So this little box, right from the beginning, you get a little bit of hint of what age we're going to be dealing with. Made in Western Germany. You're going to see also Once Upon a Time, it sold for $1.50. Mm-hmm. No longer. Multiply that by 10. We're going to be starting at $15.
Okay.
But what we've got here is throwing in my Christmas stuff because We've got the Christmas Advent calendar. So I might be testing the definition of unbreakable because these puppies could snap off it with no problem. And full disclosure, one of the candle holders had already come off. Just I think the glue was old. So I did re-glue that on. Also, this is what happens when you store your Christmas ornaments in the attic. Your candles become curved.
Indeed.
So it does have all 4 candles in it. And if you want the windswept look, you can use them. And so all 4 candles are still in the box. So I will include them all, but you can see they're all have a slight curvature to them. But it's so cute. Like it is the 4 little angels. They themselves are in perfect condition. That you can still see their wings are still attached. She's carrying that. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a German thing you get for kindergarten. Like your first day of school, you get like a little cone filled with candy and toys and stuff.
Oh, I always thought you got a doily on your first day of German. Never mind.
You got the angel carrying a star, an angel carrying, I guess, a fruit cake, and then an angel carrying a heart. So the piece itself is not marked. It might have had a sticker or something at one point. It is, but the box itself said made in Western Germany. So I would say this is probably, what would you say, Scott? Based on the look of those angels, I think 60s, 70s.
Looks very much like it. I wouldn't argue with that.
Definitely have some age. Like I remember stuff like this growing up. I do see, thank you so much, Elaine, gave me a starting bid of $20 and to keep things moving because there's not much more I can show other than that this is what you're going to get. I will make sure it's packaged well in the box so it doesn't rattle around and doesn't cause any damage. So again, testing the limits of what unbreakable means, but it is wood. So theoretically it should be unbreakable. Counting it down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Actually, it's funny you mentioned the staples. Even this box was stapled at once upon a time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
All right, waiting to put that in. And yes, you are right. I did destroy some orange candles in my attic, and they're so haunted looking. I use them now. Everyone said, "Oh, they're wonderful." Somebody wanted to buy them. And they're Halloween decorations now. I'll show you.
Oh, perfect. That's a great idea.
They're all cattywampus, and I love it.
Repurpose them.
Yeah, indeed. So there you go. Can you see that you've got, back in the day, maybe at 23?
Yep, that's what I see. So I will add that to the military lot. Thank you. And thank you, Trojan, for you. I like it as well.
And I don't know if he's still here, but before I forget, I did see that Old Hadley Vintage was helping out by putting a few little things in there. So I want to thank him for that.
Yes, thank you.
Giving some directions and things as a moderator. We're going to make toast right here on the air, so get ready. It's going to be a very exciting moment for all of us. If I don't burn myself, because these things... Okay, let's make a piece of toast. This is probably from the late 30s into the early 40s. Yep. It starts at $25, and we will make toast right now. This was made in Philadelphia. It has the patent numbers on the bottom of it. Warning: never use antique electric appliances unattended. Always leave them unplugged and always stand there while they are operating. This thing could heat up in a small apartment. Let's open it up. You all know how these work. I'm going to take a piece of my cinnamon bread, which was in the freezer. I'm going to put it down and close it up. When you close it up, they both close up. But before I do that, we have this little knob over here, which you can't see, but I'm going to turn it for the desired color. A little bell will go off. I want you to listen for the little tinkle of the bell, okay? Which means we're not going to cook this too dark. I'm actually putting it on a very low setting. It's heating up because I want that bell to go off. and for you to hear it. But I'll let you peek. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's in there heating up. Oh, I wish you could. Oh, it's humming. The filaments are red as they can be. Oh, do you see the smoke coming off of it? I don't think that you can. So we have a dark to light indicator over here. And now when the bell goes off, you have to turn this off. It will not turn itself off. You hear me? Did you hear the bell?
An angel just got its wings.
An angel just got its wings. Okay. When the bell goes off, you turn this little Bakelite knob off. That's why you can't go out and gossip with your neighbor. You'll burn your house down. But let's open this up now. And that particular side is delightfully toasted. Can you see it?
Absolutely.
That side ain't, but that side is.
Is there a brand, or you've got a question? Is there a brand on this one?
Mm-hmm. We're made in Philadelphia. I'll tell you what it is. Hold on, but I want to unplug it. It's not rusted. It is made of chrome. You can see that it works. I'm eating the toast. It is delicious. And that piece of bread was in my freezer. Give me one moment to plug my cell phone back in. And this toaster will remain hot for the next 2 hours. So let me without.
Florida Golden Girl has your $30.
It is not Procter and Gamble, so hold on. It is the Procter
Silex
thermostatic toaster. It has a patent number, and it was made in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania by the Procter Thermostatic Company. So there you have it. I love the little bell. Now remember, as I said, when that bell goes off, your toast is ready, but this doesn't turn itself off. You must turn it off yourself. These are wooden handles right here, and now you can see the little indicator, 1 through 10. So you get your different amounts of darkness. And let me put this on the floor. I had it sitting on my Art Deco tray, but I don't need that toaster. So I'll count it down. 10, 9, any questions? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to finish this toast. This is delightful. Oh, let me get the stop in there. I won't smack my lips.
Florida Golden Girl's putting up a fight for it.
Well, did she get it?
I got to refresh.
She got it at, I don't make sure she didn't outbid herself.
No, there was a bid. Kat Gibbons bid right before her.
Oh, I see it. 46.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Florida Golden Girl. It is yours. It's coming your way. Florida Golden Girl. Let me make Patrick.
All right. Back to some
Florida.
ephemera. Excuse me. Back to some ephemera. Earlier, I sold the Ladies' Home Journal issues from 1920s.
Okay.
Now I'm selling the People's Home Journal from earlier in the 20s. So these pair of these, you get both of them for a start of $12. So we have the May 1923 People's Home Journal and the June 1923 People's Home Journal. So you get this fantastic image from the 20s right here on the front. Publisher, so Earl Christie, that's the artist. Tried to mark some of the cool ads that are in this one. Inside front cover, color ad of Bon Ami for Windows. Never realized you could use Bonami for windows. I thought it was like a cleanser for ovens and things like that. Great. New Perfection oil cook stoves. Check that out. Oil cook stoves and ovens.
I just have to ask, how many of you right now are thinking of The Ghost and Mr. Chicken? I'll just leave it there. Patrick may. I don't know if you're a fan of that film, but you may get that reference. If not, it's one of the lines.
I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm struggling to know the reference.
The old lady, and they used Bonami.
Oh,
because they couldn't get the blood off of the organ keys. Go ahead.
Oh, right. The Gold Dust Twins. Yes, it is the 20s. Yes, we are in a different era. Look at the great advertisement for smart clothes in gingham for summer. And let's see what else I marked. Kleinerts. Change your frock. And the back cover is an ad for Colgate's Ribbon Dental Cream.
I love it.
So it's just, she looks like she's cleaning her teeth.
Oh my, I love her gate leg table.
There you go. So that is the May issue. The June issue got a little child on the cover. For some reason, they decided to put Love's Conflict as the header next to that child's face. So that's probably inappropriate. And the plunger right next to her neck. So I don't know what that's all about. Inside cover. Ad for Congolium art rugs. So we were after Scott's house, and now we're a couple years before Scott's house. Check out the Victrola. I've never seen a wide Victrola. I've only seen the tall ones.
Oh yeah, that's called the humpback. And
if you bought only one new Victor record a week, you would have such a treasury of music as could compare only with the great libraries and the great art galleries of the world. Victrola number 300, $250.
Yeah. And you know what, Patrick? That is nicknamed the humpback for obvious reasons. And housewives didn't like it because they couldn't put a vase on.
Couldn't put anything on top. Absolutely.
Couldn't put a lamp or a vase or anything like that.
And you can see the crank on the side, or you get the electric version for $290. Well, that's why cathedral radios did not have flat tops, because they didn't want people putting things on the top because it would overheat the radio. So they made it peaked so you couldn't put things on top of the radio, but people didn't like that either. Ad in the back, another Colgate ad, but a different woman having nothing to do with cleaning her teeth. Fells Naphtha soap. Inside back cover ad. The color one is for yeast foam. Okay. I'm not familiar with that particular option. Or magic yeast. How old Mr. Crow used his wits. So you've got some illustration. So again, these are thinner. So that's why we started only at $12, but this is in better condition because the cover, everything is still intact. What has she got? Post Toasties. Pouring out a bowl of Post Toasties. All right, I've got some bids. We're going to go ahead and start counting it down. You get both of them for one price. So it looks like about up to $16 from KP. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Mm-hmm. And I don't know the history of People's Home Journal. I don't know if that got replaced by Ladies' Home Journal, but I was not familiar with the term People's Home Journal.
It looks like your magazines are on their way to Massachusetts.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jeffrey. And I did not, you were the one I was talking about at the top of the show. I did not mail your magazine that you paid for last week because I had a feeling you might be here tonight. So I will add them together and you save on freight.
How about that? I have a blanket. It's clean. It doesn't smell. And it's $20. Now, I want you all, now, some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, I remember something like that. I would love to see the people in the chat. And I know people are out there watching at home. You get involved too. How old do you think this blanket is? Start putting it in there. $20, no holes, no stains, and it will go over the top of a twin size bed. It measures 62 across by 125 inches long. So Patrick, that will very nicely cover a twin size bed if you want it to be sort of like a bedspread. I'm just calling it a blanket, and it is a wonderful old blanket. I'm going to stand up and let you see it. This is a salmon color here, sort of a salmony color. Well, this is more of a salmon here with the black. So classic.
Mama T-Bird's asking if it's wool or cotton or acrylic.
Well, it's not acrylic and it's not wool. I'm going to guess that it is cotton. It is soft. A wool blanket would be a little more coarse. Now let me hold it up and just let you see the pattern on it. Oh my goodness, I've seen chairs from the 1940s that are upholstered in something like this. Now, as I said, oh, that's the wrong side. That's the business side of it. Folks, this blanket is old. It's been cleaned. It doesn't smell. Will you find a pick in it here and there? On the underside, there might be. That's the front of it. No, that's the back of it. I'm showing you the wrong side, for pity's sake. That's the front of it. See? There's one spot. Yeah. That's the front. That's the back of it. I'm not looking at the chat. So if
You got guesses everywhere from the 20s to the 50s.
Yeah. We're going to compromise and say the 40s. But again, it could easily go into the 50s. I love this blanket. And it's ready for you to use it. What else can I say? I've given you the measurements. And I started to tell you there's one. It doesn't have any holes, but there's one little spot near the bottom where it's just starting to get a little bit threadbare. And it's right there. Right. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's the
you got an opening bid of $20.
That's the only spot on this entire blanket. And it's not a hole. It's just a little threadbare, or a little worn just in that one spot. Other than that, this is the kind of thing to use to snuggle up on your sofa with, or a lot of people like to decorate with what we would call vintage textiles and that kind of thing. And I just love that old blanket. I'm going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait a minute. See? I should have done that to begin with. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. S-T-O-P. All right. You said there was a bid, Patrick?
Yep. And Adam snuck in at the end. So I don't see your stop yet.
Oh, there it is. It should be in there.
Yep. I see it now. So I think Adam came in time to get it at 21.
Okay. Blanket. 21.
Yeah, back in the days, 23 came just after the stop.
Okay. Well, Adam, thank you.
All right, and I will throw in another one of my textiles. This is a $10 start. I cannot nearly wrap it around myself nearly as well as you did because it's much smaller, but I could turn it into a hair babushka. So $10 start. It is a Japanese fabric or Japanese scarf with its original price tags. So you've got the original store tag in Japanese with the original marking, and you can see it is all in Japanese. So this was not for the Western market. You do have the original tag on here, also in Japanese. It's 100% something, and I'm going to guess that that represents silk because I believe this is a silk scarf. And it is great for autumn. It is some beautiful colorations. It's looking a little pale on my camera. It's kind of a teal, bluish, tealy blue green color. How can I do this? There's something white that I can put in the background. So you can kind of see there's like a kind of bluish green color to it with these great reds. And you can see that the blue is showing up a little bit better against the red. And the green, it's got an asymmetric design. It is 25 by 26. So it's pretty much square. I mean, it could have been my measurements, but yes, sorry, Mama T-Bird. It is 25 by 26. So you can see the black is on one side and then kind of mimics a little bit, but you can see it's wider on the other side. So it's asymmetrical in its design. So that is one side. The reverse side, you can still see it, but you can see it's a little bit more faded. So it is like there is a front to it. The back is just the back printing, which is what happens to most fabrics. But the black is a pure Spanish black, beautiful dark. The blues and the reds and the greens, Japanese maple style leaves going against it. Great for the fall, that cool red sweep that goes across. Not sure what those are representing, to be perfectly honest. They kind of look like tassels, but maybe they're supposed to be like flower blossoms or something. I actually don't know what that red stem is supposed to be. We can kind of see it in multiple places. I don't know anything about it. I picked it up at an estate sale with a ton of other Japanese items that I've been selling in my booth. It's harder to sell textiles in the booth because they get unfolded and get all wadded up and they don't look nice. So this has been setting to the side, but again, tag's still on there and absolutely beautiful. And I would 100% agree, Mama T-Bird, you could frame this and it would just make a beautiful textile design above a headboard or whatever. So again, 25 by 26. And that is the design. And I will count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Yes, Marianne, it's a small table, 20, if you did like a little side table, that would definitely work on a side table. So I see Scott's voice has disappeared, but I saw him type in stop. So do you see Roxanne before or after the stop, Scott? And I do not hear your voice. It's a solo show. Where'd Scott go? Well, let me try and refresh. We'll just wing it here. And I lost the video. Bring up the chat, kind of buy time for Scott to come back. Nope, I don't hear him come back, but I do see Roxanne. I do see you above the stop. So you get the Japanese scarf for $17. So thank you so much. And if you could I do recognize your name, so I think you've bought from me before. But if you could just do me a favor and email me your information, I would appreciate that. And I'm still not hearing Scott, so I don't know what to do. So I will say, for those who came in late, I'll just remind you, as we're getting kind of the end of the sale. One of the things, yeah, that's what I was wondering too, if he muted himself, but I can't see it from my side. One of the things that I offered, and it is still available because it's not an offer up, is if you would like a custom advent calendar for $50, that includes its shipping. For $50, you will get 24 envelopes, which I will manually make with random. These are just some random examples of what I will include. Like I just grabbed a postcard, some knot geld, this old, this weird airplane ride, Curtis Flying Service, certificate, Victorian trade cards. And there he's back.
Yeah, that was very odd. I'm not sure what that was. It was a little glitch, but I'm back.
Yep, you're back. We were just buying some time. So it's your turn.
I could hear everything that was being said about me while you didn't know that I could hear you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm back. Yeah, that was odd. That's never happened before, but things happen. Okay, now I've got for you. Wait, this says guest, so maybe Patrick isn't there. Let me bring you back in.
Nope, I'm still here.
Yeah, but it says, well, I don't know who that could be. All right, hold on, folks. This is very odd.
Hi.
This is very odd. Okay.
I don't
know why I did that. Now what I've got for you next, I have 2 tobacco humidors. I'll make myself big in a minute, Patrick.
Yeah. What's your start?
This is an offer up. So the high bidder gets to pick the one they want. We start at 20. So
okay.
$20 is the opening bid. I'm going to show you the 2 tobacco humidors. High bidder picks the one they want. Don't place any bids until I show them both to you, because one of them has damage, which isn't a deal breaker, but it does have damage. So let's go solo layout. There I am. Both of them are about the same size. That one doesn't have any damage to it. And both of them measure about 11 by 8 by 5.5 roughly. And they both go back to sometime within the first 30 years of the last century. So we'll say 1900 to 1930, about that. This one had obviously a plate on the top, which is gone. Big deal. So you open it up. Very nice. The nice tobacco humidors are usually lined in porcelain or tin or some such thing. This one, it's almost like milk glass. It's kind of hard to tell, but as I said, this is old, and you can see it has a skeleton. The key is gone, but it's got a skeleton key for a small key. Now, the scratches, they don't bother me. If they bother you, go over it with some lemon oil and some scratch cover. Those will come right out. That's the original finish. There's the bottom of it. Who got the pretty scarf? Oh, so that's for somebody else. So you can see the inside of it is lined as a good tobacco humidor is supposed to be. It's hard for me to tell what that is. It's not plastic. It's either some kind of milk glass or it's porcelain. These are a lot of times they're porcelain. All right, the next one that I have, I love this one. This one is the one that has a little bit of damage to it, but it's not a deal breaker. What's the damage? Well, the bottom is gone, but not the bottom.
What's your damage, Heather?
Pardon?
What's your damage, Heather? Sorry.
What's my damage?
No, what's your damage, Heather? Heather's. That's our, that's our era. Never mind.
Okay.
The movie Heathers from the 80s. That's.
Oh, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. You're eating your French nuts or something. So
this would have had a wooden bottom, which would have just been that's the bottom of the humidor itself. The little wooden bottom has fallen out. That's an easy replacement for someone. What a nice mahogany box with original handle. Look at the inside of it. Again, a nice tobacco humidor. $20, pick the one you want. The other issue with this one, and I'm just seeing that mark on there for the very first time, and it says, why It looks like Y and T. So you Googlers out there can look up Y and T, it looks like. But anyway, the top of the lock is gone. Again, I don't know if anybody's going to lock this. I don't have the key. So there's the old lock. So the issue with this one is that you're going to have to put a little piece of board on the bottom or use it as it is. But this one is also lined. Anybody know what that's for? What do you do with that? Moisture. So all of these little sort of like linen, these little linen cards kind of remind me of the old men's collars and things from the 30s, 20s and 30s, like the linen collars, you know, Patrick.
Oh, nice.
And the cuffs.
Yeah.
Exact same material.
Oh, cool.
These could be moistened. Why they came like this, I don't know. That is a mystery to me. And I don't want to guess. I want to know, because we can all guess. I know it has to do with moisture. Do you know, Patrick?
I do. I've never seen them in a sheet like that.
I've never seen cards.
Yeah, I could make a guess, but I do not know.
Well, yeah, and the guess is obviously you would wet these. I'm
wondering if that's how it was supplied, and you would actually only wet one at a time. And so you kind of have because I don't see what the benefit would be of wetting all of them. So if you wet one, slip it in there, and then when it dried out, you could wet another one or until it like falls apart. And then you have, because they're the right size. They're, they're custom cut.
It's very possible, but it's just bizarre that they have all these individual cards. They fit beautifully in there, but that's what you do. You wet them. Sometimes you would put apple juice on them and get an apple-y smell to your tobacco.
Oh, I've never heard of that. That's cool. You've got an opening bid of $20 from back in the day finds.
This slides right in here. Yeah. See, it's tin lined. This one is tin lined, right? So that's the bottom of the humidor. So the issue is there was just a little thin piece of wood that was on the bottom that somehow fell off of there. I love.
But you'll never miss.
You never right.
Put some thick felt on the bottom, and you don't even need it. No one will even notice.
So it's mahogany with these chrome, and I didn't clean it. There's an old handle on the top that somebody put fabric around it and some string. I don't know what the idea was with that, but somebody did that at some point. You can rip that off. And there it is. So we'll call this the tobacco humidor with the corners, and then the larger one that's sort of the porcelain lined. High bid picks the one they want, counting them down. 10. Any questions, comments, prayer requests?
Nope, you do have one bid though. You've got somebody interested.
They measure 11 by 8 by 5. One of them is a little bit larger than the other one, but that's basically the measurements of them. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I'll need your help, Patrick, because when I put the stop in there.
Right. So far you just have the one. So if
that's
back
all
in the day, assuming they want it, they need to tell us which one you want.
Stop is in there. Now let me hit refresh. Okay.
So it looks like it's just back in the day finds.
Then you get to pick the one that you want for 20, or you may have both for 40.
Yeah, great deal.
That is a great deal. Mahogany, again, these are 100 years old. Easy fix on the bottom of that.
And they're taking both.
You're going to get both of them? Okay.
Good choice.
Both of the tobacco humidors. I've got one more coming up that's a little bit different from the others. That's the reason why I didn't pair it. And then that'll probably be it for me. So back in the day, you get both of them. Wonderful. Let's go back to Patrick's solo layout.
All right, then I will do my last item. I'm going back to some ephemera. Got a couple other things. I was going to finish with these. So because I did these in a video. I did a video, Trusty's Vintage Deep Dive on real photo postcards. These are the postcards that I put into that video. So I wanted to sell these. It is a starting bid of $15.
Okay.
And you get, I think there's 12 or 13 of them in here. These are all real photo postcards, all dating from the teens and 20s. And right out of the bat, the one in the very top is worth $15 by itself. It is a real photo postcard of a group of women holding freaky China dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not kids. Those are dolls.
Yeah, they
And
are.
those will be in my night terrors tonight. So need this out of the house. And so anyway, so nice. Unfortunately, Halloween's this week, but you get this one. And then the rest of the cards you get, there's a couple of group shots. They're all real photo postcards. If you don't know what a real photo postcard is, you can watch my video. But these are all divided back real photo postcards.
Nice.
Show you the images really quick. A lot of them from, picnics. You can tell the age of some of these based on the little stamp thing in the corner. This one has the 2 arrows going up to the top and 2 arrows facing down to the bottom, which means this one I think was between 1918 and 1930 or something like that. And then the other ones are a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Another group of women. All of these are on postcard backs. What was special about some of the cards that I picked up were several of them are depicting 2 men, which is a specialty collecting area in and of itself. So you got this lovely vignette of 2 men. Now they may just been brothers, they may be friends, who knows? Sometimes people look for things that are not there, but there are several photos in here of 2 men. So this is one of them. This one, I think we dated based on the backing. We dated this one, I think, into the 30s. So you get a 3/4 image of a woman. You see this one has a couple creases on it. Most of them are in better condition than that. Another one of 2 men. Some of them did come out of scrapbooks. So you've got the stuff on the back. We get some undo. You can clean those off if it is important to you. Check out his hair. Another vignette one of an individual man, individual woman. All of these again have the backdrop. These 2 also one of 2 men, but then also a man with a child on the same chair. So could be the same guy, but I don't think it was taken at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it's definitely the same chair. And those are both postcards. And one last postcard of 2 men together. Then you also get, because I'm just getting rid of all of them, 2 duplicates. So this was already in there. So you get 2 of this one and 2 of this one. I have no interest in separating these out or trying to sell them all individually. I would be able to sell particularly that scary one with the dolls and probably the ones of the 2 men for about $5 to $10 each if you are a reseller. I have no interest in trying to sell all of these individually. So they are going to a new home. And right now it's going to Heidi's home because she's starting me out with $15. But I will start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Wait for the stop to come across. I hope I didn't lose Scott again. Okay, stop came through.
Yeah, there.
Looks like Heidi was the only bid, unless somebody came in at the last minute. So let's go to Heidi. So congratulations, Heidi. I know you will give them a good home, and you got, if I may say so, a fantastic deal. So enjoy.
Okay, I've got one more thing, and then I will quickly flash the 2 items that didn't sell. We'll see if anybody jumped in late in the show and would like those. But in the meantime, for $20, let me make myself solo layout. $20. Now, why is he selling the bottom of an oak box for $20? Well, it's more than that, but wait a minute. It has a lid. You're going to love the lid. Why isn't the lid connected? Well, the hinges are gone. You see the ghost mark right there, there, and there. The 2 hinges, gone. The little escutcheon on the front that would hold a latch, gone. Why is he trying to get $20 for that? because look at the lid. That's where
Oh, wow.
that's where the money is, kids. Look at that lid. Excuse me. That is brass. It's old tarnished brass, and this goes way back again to about 1920 circa. Little older, little newer. Yeah. We'll say 1900 to 1930, but especially in oak and in a script like that. Look at that. Just go out to a flea market and find yourself an old box, throw on a couple of old hinges. Yeah. And you'll have something worth more than $20. That's for sure. Tabacciana, I guess that's what you call it, right?
Absolutely.
Which is always funny to me because it sounds like somebody's first name. Tabacciana Jackson, you get yourself in that station wagon right now. But there it is. Cigars. I love it. And I didn't clean it, but it's that sort of, I don't know why I'm doing that tonight. I'm getting all coughed up. Counting it down.
Bids.
All right. I love these. Well, is that a chamfered edge?
That's exactly what I was trying to say. That's what I would say it was, but I would be very quick to back off if somebody said it was something else.
Patrick, if you say it's chamfered, I'll say it's chamfered. But hey, we've both been known to be wrong before.
Absolutely.
Me more than you. We'll go. We'll count down what looks like a chamfered edge. I'm used to a chamfered ceiling, a little cove in the ceiling. You know, so I'm just going to say, but who knows? Well, we'll count it down. I like using my Antiques Roadshow terms, even though I usually say it wrong. 10 is 10. We have a bid. 10. 9,
yes, you have 2 bids actually.
8, 7. And if we're wrong, tell us we're wrong. 6 is not beveled. 8, no. 5, 4, 3. Sorry, 2.
It's getting late.
2, 1. That's it. You're used to my wonky countdowns anyway, and it gives David something to laugh at because he loves my wonky countdowns. Oh, my dear.
All right, got a battle going at the last minute.
Well, here comes the stop.
All right, let me refresh.
All right, stop. Chamfered edge. Look at him trying to be all SAT with his vocabulary. And it looked like.
I see back in the day fines before the stop at 26.
I do as well. If you would allow me quickly to drop this by $5, that's all I'm dropping it. If I don't sell it tonight, I'll just go ahead and throw it on eBay. $20. Ooh, that almost went into the china closet. $20 on the brand new in the box, never been opened, circa 1971, 72 popcorn popper. Look at that. And those wonderful 70s orange colors. Look at the little 70s heads. I love it. See that little floating heads? That's kind of left over from the 60s and the 50s, the floating head in graphics. Yeah, the decapitated heads. And there it is. Never been taken out of that box. If you are interested, you better throw $20 on that screen right now because we're getting ready to get out of here. That would be the opening bid on that. And I don't see any. The chrome, 1940s era chrome, cream and sugar is $15. And Patsy M is coming in at 20. And I'm assuming, Patsy, you're for the popcorn popper. So let's go ahead and count that down. That would be fun to do this with your grandkids and show them the way that we did it. Gosh, do people still make popcorn? I guess they just do it in their microwaves, right?
I haven't had anything other than microwave popcorn in years.
So anyway, we'll count this one down.
This predates the hot air popper. And then you flip it and serve it right in that lid. Yeah, it's just.
I apologize. I confused everybody. Mama T-Bird, thank you for taking that out. That was my fault. I think you want the cream and sugar. We're going to go ahead and count down. $20 is the high bid right now on the popcorn popper. In the box, never been used. That popcorn popper is 40 years old, 45 years old. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I'll put the stop in there on the popcorn popper. Then I'll do this chrome item, and then we're going to go to bed. STOP. It's in there. Patsy M gets the popcorn popper at 20. While I'm writing that down, is anyone interested in starting us out at $15 on the chrome, cream and sugar with underpants? And then we're going to take it back to Patrick. I believe you might have had something that didn't sell.
I did have one item that did not sell, yes.
Then we'll bring it back to you in a minute. The chrome, cream and sugar. Mama T-Bird has an opening bid of 15. There it is. The sugar bowl has its lid. Classic chrome. Boy, when this stuff hit the scene in the 30s, your granny's EAPG shook in its boots because it knew it was on its way to the thrift store. We'll count this down because we do have a bid of 15. Anybody else interested, jump on in and let me get the stop ready. Very shiny.
And so, Marianne, I do see Mama T-Bird before you. So you did bid at the same price as Mama T-Bird. So just be aware of that.
Be aware of that. No dents, probably from the 40s, late 30s into the 40s, sometimes even into the 50s. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it on that. And so, fair warning, Mama T-Bird and Marianne, you're tied for business, but Mama T-Bird is going to get it. Maybe. If I can get the stop to get in there. And who got it?
I'd say it's Mama T-Bird.
For 15?
Yep, she was time stamped a little bit before. 1 minute before Marianne.
And Willow Breeze came in at $20 just
After the stop. Yeah.
Stop. Patrick, so sorry, Willow Breeze, but Patrick's turn. What have you got left?
All right. So the only thing I had left, other than the advent calendars, which no one picked up.
I know.
But so this was the Disney lot. So this was $20 is the starting price. You get the large wall hanging of Pluto, the 2 issues from the 90s of DuckTales comic books, and the Disney accented, augmented Lane cedar chest with the Disney stickers that have been attached, which if you don't like those, you can clean them off and you just have a traditional cedar chest, which does, if I didn't show it before, does still have the key taped in the bottom. So you actually have a functionally locking cedar chest. I see Lori with a 20, but I'm hoping that's for this and not for your, I don't know how bad her lag was, that it wasn't for your creamer.
The chrome. We'll see. Lori, if you'll just let us.
Yeah, just verify it's for Disney, because I'm going to go ahead and count it. Yep, she's a Disney lot. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And I will add this to Lori and Robert's items that you already had. So you will still gonna be obnoxious because they're big to ship, but it's not heavy, so it's just gonna be a bigger box. Thank you.
Yes, and I do remember that the little for the nephews, you got them the little Morse code flashers, right? I think that's fun. And you know,
awesome.
It's not just so much the thing, but if you are of an age when you've got grandchildren and grandnieces and nephews, and they're going to be gathering around the holiday time, gee, it's fun to pull out something like this that they you know, an old typewriter, an old popcorn popper. That's fun to do together. And for goodness sake, put the cell phones up. Let's all sign a pledge that during Christmas and Thanksgiving, if they kick and scream, it does not matter. Get yourself a box. And unless somebody is, I don't know, waiting to find out if they won the lottery, turn those cell phones off and put them in a box. And if you can't remember something around the dining room table, for Pete's sake, don't Google it. Have a conversation with your grandmother, you young people, and you old people. You can be just as much as responsible for staring at yourself. Oh boy, look, oh, I better stop.
You're good. Too late for you to have too much of a tirade tonight, Scott.
I have a rule at my house. Oh, somebody look it up. No, we're going to sit here and name all of the obscure movie actresses until we can remember who it was. And we're going to have a hell of a lot more fun doing that than Googling it. Oh, okay. Woo, he really went off, didn't he? Okay.
Tell us how you really feel, Scott.
Well, anyway. Cell phones are great. I've got nothing against Google. It is a wonderful tool, but it is a tool that needs to be turned off and put away sometimes. Okay.
All good.
Hey,
thank you for those of you who are on your phones tonight and watched our show.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, we need that. Yeah. All right, let's run our lips for a minute. Oh, it's 20 after 10. I have to go. Oh my gosh. But anyway, what you gonna do for Halloween?
Raj just showed up, so
what you gonna do for
the
Halloween?
evening is coming to an end.
Okay, what you gonna do for Halloween?
I am actually involved. I've squeezed in a show that I'm dealing with that they were willing to work around with my travel schedule, and they called rehearsal on Halloween evening. And I'm like, well, I am available, but why on earth are we doing rehearsal on Halloween? So that's where I'm going to be stuck on Halloween, is I am actually going to a rehearsal of Little Abner, the musical. So okay. Yeah, so, you know, I'll have a flashback in history, the Little Abner, the musical. So I am in that. And but I did go to a event.
The 80s prom. I know you told me. Look at that.
I went to the 80s prom. I was dressed as an 80s rocker, and Raj went in preppy wear. So he had the sweater tied around. Mm-hmm. This was the end of the night, so we'd already started falling apart. But so he had his loafers on and his clean cut sweater, and so he did the preppy look and I did the rocker look. So that was the awesome 80s prom. So that was the only thing we got to dress up for Halloween. That was the only thing that we actually went to for that was Halloween themed or costume themed. Are you doing anything for Halloween?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
I'm just going to leave it at that. But I will have to say this in case my mother is watching and I get in trouble. We went out to dinner. The family went out to dinner a couple nights ago. We had a wonderful Oktoberfest dinner at a local restaurant. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I won't get into all the schnitzel and spätzle. It was wonderful. But anyway, she said, "Are you giving out candy for Halloween?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, I've got all this candy. I've got more than I'll need." So she sent me back, and you can see she opened it. She opened it. But I said, yes, I would be giving out candy so that she would give me the leftovers. But the truth is, I might be out of town on Halloween. So I may just put the candy in the bird bath, help yourselves, and, you know.
I did that once, and it lasted about 5 minutes. So just one person came, dumped the bowl into their bag, and just had it in their bowl.
Yeah. Well, you know I'll be here for Mischief Night because this is New Jersey. And Mischief Night in New Jersey probably is a whole different history than anywhere else in the country. We won't get into it.
I'm not familiar with that. So is that Halloween night, or is that the night before Halloween? What is Mischief Night?
Oh, my word, Patrick. Mischief Night is the night before Halloween, and it has been around for a long time. When I was a little boy, it was so much fun, but we didn't go crazy. Mischief night, and our parents would get involved with it as well. Back in the good old 70s, when we somewhat behaved ourselves, you would go over to an uncle's house who had a sense of humor, or, you know, a crotchety old man from church or something like that. And you would take a bar of soap and write boo on the window of his car. Or we would take toilet paper and throw it into the trees. Little things like that. Then it got way out of hand and the police got involved, and I think they got banned in certain places, but it used to be just a fun thing. And I don't know where else it's done across the country, but every time I say mischief night, it's only Jersey folk that seem to know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that
somebody put in the chat that they call it goose night or goosey night.
Goose?
That doesn't ring a bell either.
I don't know about that. But little pranks would be played, and it wasn't to be, and everybody got into it, and it was fun. And you didn't, you know, put dog poop in people's mailboxes or nasty stuff like that. You just did little kind of fun things. And then
so you don't want to leave your house unattended on mischief night.
Just in case, it's fun, because it's fun to sort of dress up and hide. Because the people that come to commit the mischief almost want to be caught and scared. You have to be a good sport on both sides, you know. But like anything else, people get carried away. They do too much and they ruin it for everybody, and you can't have good old fun anymore. Anyway, enough of that.
On time. Well, if you go out of town, hope you have fun. If you stay home and protect your house on mischief night, hope you're successful. And hope everybody else has a good Halloween, or whatever you do, if you celebrate or not, that you just enjoy the week.
We're chatting among ourselves. I'll hang out for a minute and chat with everybody. You go and tell Raj that I said hello. I'll hang out for a couple minutes longer and see, and then I'll tune out. So we'll say good night, Patrick. Thanks for being here.
Yes, appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight, and see you again for fourth Monday of November.
Would that be the? Yeah, that's going to be after Thanksgiving.
Actually, Thanksgiving is really late this year, so it might be the Monday before Thanksgiving. We'll have to figure that one out.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the calendar, but we'll figure it out. I'll be back. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Bye-bye. I'll hang out here for a second longer, just a second longer. Let me take those off and put these back on, because I can see through these. I can see the thing. So is Mischief Night? I think Mischief Night might be November 4th this year. No. It's not November. It's the night before Halloween. It's always been the night before Halloween. I don't know how you got November 4th. That must be something else. Not, yeah, believe me, I know Mischief Night. The night before Halloween. It's always been the night before Halloween. So what do you have on November 4th? What is it that you're thinking of, Patsy? I don't know of anything on November the 4th. She was referring to the election. Oh, that's what I get for not seeing the whole. That's the other reason why I don't read the comments, because y'all talk about stuff and I don't see it. So I don't. Then when I try to jump in, yeah, but see, we call that Old Souls Day, and we have that, of course, in church. And then everyone goes to the cemeteries and you light candles and all that stuff. But yeah, where are the Revive It? Where are my Jersey? Where's Donna and my Revive It sisters? Where are my Jersey people? Where are my Jersey folk? Is it just Jersey? It was fun in the 70s. And we would always go to our great Uncle Harold. We would soap his windows. Oh, and the mothers would take us in the car. I don't ever remember my father getting involved with it. But my mother and my aunt, they would put us kids in the car, and my cousin, and we go over to Uncle so-and-so's house, and You know, anyone else that sort of portrayed an avuncular, there's a SAT word for you. Can you spell avuncular? I think it means like an uncle. You know, the good-natured uncle. And then we throw toilet paper up in the trees. Oh my gosh, we would wet our pants. We would be so excited. Huh? Shaving cream, toilet paper, that's it. Randy, where are you from? Aren't you up in Connecticut? Oh, you had it up in, so it's a northeastern thing. So Jeffrey had it in Massachusetts. That's right, Kathy. It was only friends or family. You did not go to strangers' houses. You didn't smash pumpkins. Randy, you're in Connecticut. That's right. Okay. Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. It seems like it's a northeastern thing. I mean, well, I guess it fits, right? Your brother caught something soaping his window and made them eat a piece of soap. Oh, it was fun, and people knew not to go too far. Here in the South, toilet papering a house was year-round. Oh, you toilet paper people's houses year-round? I don't know. And I know it's a lot safer now that we don't turn the clocks back. But when I was a kid, I loved it. Because remember, we turned our clocks back, what, 2 weeks earlier, a week earlier? Does that look like I'm getting a spot on my face? I guess I shouldn't look at myself. But it's safer now because we don't turn our clocks. We would have turned our clocks back by now. When did they change that? 5 or 10 years ago, they changed it by 2 weeks. It was, to me, it was more fun when it was dark at 5 o'clock on Halloween night. Ooh, I don't know. There's Donna. Donna, did you have Mischief Night in North Jersey? What? Yeah. Yeah, because toilet paper is too expensive. And remember, we had colored toilet paper in the 70s. It was pink and green. We also walked through an old revolutionary cemetery on Halloween. Oh, that's fun. Now, I know not everybody does spooky. I don't like blood and guts. I don't like me personally, just me personally. I don't have anything against anybody who does. I don't like I like scary Halloween, but not there's a long, I don't know. I get when it gets too creepy, you know it. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, come on. Let's not get into all that. You remember colored toilet paper? Yeah, I don't do all the gory or the I don't know. But I like fun Halloween. And oh my goodness, have you guys been? I don't know why I got all quiet. Where was I? I don't know where I was. Somewhere. The Halloween, like what I would call an automaton, that's an old-fashioned word for, they're 20 feet tall. And they're just standing there. You don't know they're going to do anything, but there's some electric eyeball, and it knows that you walked by. I almost soiled my Depends. I know where I was. I was at Big Lots, and they had a fit at the cash register laughing at me because I screamed. I was at a Big Lots. I filmed it, but I have never published it. This great big thing, I stood in front of it, and it lunged at me. It threw its arms out, and it lunged forward like it was going to, grab me. I screamed and jumped back, and I'm telling you, I soiled my Depends. Almost. And the people, I said, well, go ahead and laugh. You probably had more fun standing behind that cash register. Has that happened to any of you? Those things are 20 feet tall. Look, you want to know what a hollow, hold on. Wait a minute. And I'll tell you. Wait a minute. Hold on. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, call an ambulance. Ugh. Here I come. Of course. Ouch. Of course, when I was a boy in the 70s, well, are you still there? It scared you too? Well, Judy, I'm glad it wasn't just me. You would have screamed, Donna. Yes, there was a werewolf. There was like a haunted woman, I don't know, in white, with like a white face, but big black eyes. They were all blackened out. And she just stood there like this. But when you went by her, she screamed at you. She threw her arms out and she lunged forward. Some sensitive people might really have a problem. I was excited as I could be when I was a little boy and it was time to bring these out at Halloween. Now that, oh, wait a minute. What have I done? Wait, get your leg. There you go. That, boy, that was fun. You had that, Scratch Cat. And there was always a skeleton on the front door and a jack-o'-lantern. But my goodness, those big things that they've got now. I love a skeleton. I think they're the funniest looking things. I like to put his hands on his, there, he's sassy. I think a skeleton is a funny looking thing, and we all have one. But that was about, we had a great big one that we hung on our door. And he's old. He's either a Lures or he's a Beistel. Lures, L-U, copyright, H-E-L-L-U-H-R-S. And I think Lures was Beistel's son-in-law. Now that you can look up on the internet because nobody's going to know that unless they read it somewhere. But when you see one that says Lures, somehow I think Lures married Mr. Beistel's daughter, but I might have that wrong. Anyway, it's now time for me to go. But I hope that you all had a good time tonight. Yeah, Lures was Beistel. I know that, but the name Lures, KP, is a different man, and I think it was Mr. Beistel's son-in-law, some relation to him. Okay. Was it his son-in-law? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, remember Dennison. But, oh gosh, name all the bones? I can't do that. Good grief. There's no way I could do that. Okay. Let's see. If you're waiting on anything, it's in the mail. I'll do the invoices tomorrow. Tomorrow I haven't done any videos lately. I had a lot going on, and then I didn't feel well, and then there was this and that and the third. I'm fine now. What was I going to tell you? Tomorrow I'm sourcing in the Trenton area. I'm going to go up to Trenton. And then I might even drive even farther. I might even drive up to Newark. I don't know. but I feel like getting out of town and not going to the same old places. Good, 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 good. I think you sent me a picture of it, and I didn't answer you back, though. Aren't you the one that I sent the tumblers to your niece in California? I think. I know they haven't got to California yet, but they're on their way. If that's the Sharon that I'm thinking of. I made a pincushion to sit in it. Oh, yeah. I saw your picture. I didn't answer you. I saw it. And that looked great. That looked really neat with that pincushion in there. Please. Tell your cousin to email me and I will, Justine. Did you send me her information? If you did, I'll go look at it again. Because it seems to me I've got something else for you. If you emailed me your cousin's information, I'll go meet her. But if you didn't, I don't know how to contact her. So just we'll do it that way. I have my little ring here that's plugged into the electric outlet. And I can keep this coffee hot. This can sit, this Fire King mug can sit on it, and it's okay. Okay. Well, happy Halloween. Have fun. For those of you who have a little bit of fun on Halloween, and I know there are those of you who don't. You don't go anywhere near it, and that's fine. For those of you who do, be safe and have a fun time, and do the Monster Mash. I'm not yet sure what my plans are, but who knows? I may surprise you. Perhaps the old crone in the attic will make an appearance again. In the meantime, this is Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. Yes, I emailed her email to you. Okay, then I will look it up and take care of it, Justine. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone, and I'll see you the next time. So long for now.